What if the person you trusted to guide your future turned out to be the monster trying to destroy it? Sarah Williams, a brilliant college student, always believed grades defined her future. She was confident, ambitious, and top of her class. But her world flipped upside down the day her strict psychology professor, Dr. Martin Cole, called her into his office. Inside the dimly lit room, his glasses glinted under the fluorescent light as he pushed her graded assignment across the desk. A bold red C stared back at her. Sarah froze. She had never scored below an A. Disappointed. Dr. Cole's smirk widened. "You're talented, Sarah, but talent isn't everything. Sometimes you need help from the right people." She frowned, trying to keep her composure. "Sir, this doesn't make sense. I answered everything correctly." "Grades aren't just about answers," he leaned forward, lowering his voice. "They're about cooperation." Sarah's stomach knotted as his words sank in. "What do you mean?" she whispered. His tone turned sharp. "If you want to pass this semester, you'll spend extra time with me. Dinners, study sessions, private discussions. Otherwise," he slid a stack of papers closer, "your grades might keep dropping, and you'll lose your scholarship." Sarah's blood ran cold. It wasn't just a threat, it was blackmail. That night, she lay awake, replaying every detail. The professor wasn't just abusing his authority, he was destroying her future unless she obeyed. But Sarah wasn't weak. She refused to be another victim of his manipulation. Instead of breaking, she decided to fight back. The next day, she bought a small audio recorder and slipped it into her bag. Each time Dr. Cole called her into his office, she recorded every conversation, his suggestive remarks, his threats, his deals. Slowly, her folder filled with undeniable evidence. Still, the weight of the secret pressed on her. To everyone else, Dr. Cole was a respected scholar, admired by colleagues and students alike. No one would believe her without proof. And yet, the more he tried to trap her, the more determined she became. Weeks turned into months. Sarah pretended to play along, giving him just enough attention to keep him convinced, while secretly building her case. She knew the risk. If he discovered her plan, he could ruin her before she even graduated. But Sarah wasn't after survival anymore. She was after revenge. Her plan was bold, dangerous, and it would only work once. On graduation day, in front of the entire faculty and student body, she would expose him. The question was, would she succeed, or would Dr. Cole destroy her first? The weeks leading up to graduation were suffocating. Sarah played her part carefully, smiling when Dr. Cole expected it, nodding at his manipulative suggestions, never giving him a reason to suspect her hidden weapon. But inside, her anger burned hotter each day. Dr. Cole became bolder, confident that he had her under control. He'd brush his hand too close when passing her papers, whisper reminders about how easily her grades could drop, and send late-night emails masked as academic support. To the outside world, it looked like mentorship. To Sarah, it was a cage. One afternoon in the library, Sarah sat hunched over her laptop, headphones in, but no music playing. Her best friend, Emily, leaned across the table. "You've been acting weird lately. What's going on?" Sarah's pulse raced. She had kept the secret to herself for weeks. But now, she needed an ally. Lowering her voice, she whispered, "I've been recording him. Everything." Emily's eyes widened. "The professor?" Sarah nodded. "He's blackmailing me with grades. I'm going to expose him at graduation, in front of everyone." Emily gasped, then broke into a nervous laugh. "Sarah, that's insane. What if he finds out?" "That's why it'll work," Sarah said, her voice steady. "He'll never see it coming. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy isn't the monster in front of you. It's the silence of the people who refuse to believe you." Sarah knew this all too well. Students whispered about unfair treatment, but no one had ever dared challenge Dr. Cole. His reputation was untouchable. Until now. Together, Sarah and Emily began crafting the plan. They edited the recordings into a powerful compilation. Every threat, every manipulative word, every false promise. They saved copies in hidden drives, encrypted files, and even emailed them to anonymous accounts. "Even if he destroys one," Sarah said, determination flashing in her eyes, 10 more will survive. Emily nodded, her fear giving way to loyalty. "Then we hit him where it hurts the most, his pride, his reputation." The days crawled by until graduation. Each time Sarah walked into class, she could feel Dr. Cole's eyes on her, filled with smug certainty that he owned her. But Sarah's mask never slipped. The night before graduation, she barely slept. She stared at the folder on her laptop labeled Truth, her heartbeat thundering in her chest. Tomorrow, the auditorium would be filled with hundreds of students, parents, and the entire faculty. Dr. Cole would be on stage, smiling as if he were the very image of wisdom and respect. But Sarah would make sure the mask came off, publicly, brutally, and irreversibly. Emily squeezed her hand that morning. "Are you ready?" Sarah smiled faintly. "No, but I have to be." The stage was set. The trap was ready. And Dr. Cole's fall would begin the moment Sarah pressed play. The auditorium buzzed with excitement. Families filled the rows, cameras flashing, students whispering about their futures. On stage, professors in their gowns sat proudly, waiting for the ceremony to begin. Sarah stood in line with the other graduates, her cap and gown hiding the trembling in her hands. Inside her pocket, the small USB drive felt heavier than a stone. It held the truth, her weapon, her freedom. At the podium, Dr. Martin Cole adjusted the microphone. His voice carried across the hall, calm, powerful, confident. "Today, we celebrate the achievements of our brightest minds. These students represent the future." The audience applauded. Parents beamed. Sarah's blood boiled. She wasn't going to let his lies live one more day. When her name was called, Sarah walked across the stage. Dr. Cole smiled as he handed her the diploma. To the crowd, it looked like a proud professor honoring his star student. But as he leaned in, he whispered, "Remember, Sarah, without me, you'd be nothing." Her lips curled into a faint smile. Not for long. Instead of walking off stage, Sarah turned toward the microphone. The audience hushed. She gripped the sides of the podium, her voice steady. "I want to thank my classmates, my family, and the professors who truly guided us. But today, there's one truth I can't leave hidden anymore." Confused murmurs rippled through the crowd. Dr. Cole's smile faltered. Sarah pulled the USB from her pocket and slid it into the laptop connected to the projector. With one click, the speakers filled with his voice. "If you want to pass this semester, you'll spend extra time with me. Grades aren't about answers. They're about cooperation. Without me, you're nothing." Gasps erupted. Parents covered their mouths. Students exchanged shocked glances. Faculty turned toward Dr. Cole, their faces pale with disbelief. On the big screen, every recording played. Clear, undeniable evidence of his abuse of power. Dr. Cole's face drained of color. He lunged forward, hissing, "Turn it off! This is slander." But it was too late. Reporters in the audience captured everything on their cameras. Professors whispered furiously. The dean rose from his chair, glaring at Cole with pure disgust. Sarah's voice cut through the chaos. For every student who was ever silenced, for every grade stolen, for every future threatened, this ends today. Thunderous applause erupted. Students cheered, some standing, clapping until their palms stung. Cole stumbled back, sweat dripping, his once unshakable career crumbling in front of the very people he had manipulated for years. Security approached him. The dean's words were sharp and final. "Dr. Cole, you're finished." For the first time, Sarah felt the weight lift from her shoulders. She wasn't just free. She had destroyed the monster who tried to control her. As the audience rose, in a standing ovation, Sarah whispered to herself, "Justice isn't given, it's taken." If you believe silence protects the powerful, remember Sarah's story. Speak, fight back, because the truth, once spoken, has the power to destroy even the darkest lies.